Speaking of, here's this book by Julie something called Admission a Novel, and it's really interesting. It's about this rich prep school kid. Snickers Z says we should have a collab. All right, email me at contact@thetechboy.org. Submit your collab request to thetechboy.org/teen. You can be our next teen of the week. Anyway, Julie Buxman has this book, Admissions a Novel. It has the makings of a great book. It says rich kid who goes to a private school in Los Angeles. It would have been better if it was in like the Northeast, not like New York, but maybe like Connecticut or New Jersey. I always like those style of books, where the kids are, going to some rich prep school over on the Northeast Coast or the East Coast. I like the Spice School series of books. You have the East and Northeast series, coast of books. Prep schools. They're really fun. You can explore a lot on there. It's really interesting. I like the book Khan Academy with the C, not a K. And I like the Khan Academy YouTube channel learning series, but Khan Academy is a book series. So I think it's a book, maybe it's a series. Anyway, I like those style of books as well. Those interesting fiction novels. But this person had to decide the message must win over interest. So first of all, there is a whole bunch of I don't know why people put bad words in movies and in books. It makes zero sense. I can understand why there'll be violence in a movie. Okay, you need to have that on screen. You can't just be like, and he beat him up, because it'll be a really boring movie. Right? I don't understand why they put illicit scenes in movies. I don't understand why they do that. Right? Okay, well, why would you unnecessarily make your movie R-rated? If it's going to be R-rated, put it in there for violence to make sense. Why would you put bad words in your book or movie? You're turning off 50% of the population who's not going to read or watch the book, and they say, oh, it's for realism. I mean, it's a book, okay? Especially if you have talking animals in your book. Okay, if you have talking animals in your book, you don't need to be saying bad words, because realism went out the window, okay? If pigs are flying in your book, you don't need to be saying bad words in your book or in your movie, okay? Look, I'm not plugged in, okay? I'm not going to sit around here and be like, oh, well, whenever I'm in the mall, I always like to talk to the kids about modesty or something, blah, 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 womp, womp, womp. Okay, no, this isn't plugged in. I'm not, this isn't, I'm not a pastor here. Okay, but, bad words are bad, okay? I've said that one time, I actually said that on Not to Be, and that was my most popular post after telling people that, oh, maybe smoking is bad. Oh, my goodness, that went mega viral. 135 people fly to that over on NTB. But, saying bad words is bad, I split the site in two. That's probably why they kicked me off. They're like, we can't have this anymore. Bad words are bad, okay? Put that on a t-shirt. That's a very important quote there. But aside from that, which, it's a 300-page book, so maybe it's a bad word every, 50, 100 pages. This book fails so badly because the message must be given, right? So it's about this kid who's caught up in an admission scandal. Her parents have essentially paid for her SAT scores to go up by 250 points to get her a 1460, which will get her into the college that she needs. They also pretend that she's some sort of a pole vaulter, even though she's never pole vaulted a day in her life. And they also pretend, quote unquote, that she's exactly. Snicker V. Bad words equal bad. Don't say very bad words. It's very naughty. They also pretend that she's Latina, which is kind of true because her dad's parents are from Argentina, or might be from Argentina. We don't know that. So she might be Latina. She might not be Latina, but they put that on the admissions form so she gets into college easier. In the book, it's just why does this exist? Okay, so for the first two chapters, you talk about her best friend's name, Shola. Okay, Shola gets glazed for 2 whole chapters. Okay, she calls Shola the most beautiful person. She says that she's too cool for school. She says that Shola is super smart and loving and kind and great and amazing. Okay, Shola gets glazed. Okay, glaze force 1 over here. And Shola turns out to be a horrible friend at the end of the book. Okay, so in this admission scandal, she has 1450. But because she's going to a prep school, she's super rich. She's going to this elite school. She gets and is able. Her parents are able to pay for tutoring. Her parents are able to pay for her to be able to go to all these classes and help her improve her grades. Well, Shola, I guess she's a scholarship student. So her parents don't pay for tutoring or anything like that. Her parents, but Shola is naturally smart, so she doesn't really need the tutoring. But she's good. She's not going to get into college because she might be ranked 6, 7 in the school. And she's trying to go to these super high schools. So she becomes the first female Black Chief Justice of the Supreme Court of the United States of America. you should have a channel where your videos are based off you reacting to Disney sitcoms like so. We reacted to Disney sitcoms like Zoe 101. Go visit rated.org. Like one video per episode. I mean, that's great, but it's really hard to do that because you have to screen record the entire episode. Anyway, back to the admissions book. And then when the admission scandal finally breaks, it's kind of written weird. It goes from then to now, because I wish it would go sequentially. Okay? I don't like how the time switching where it goes back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Anyway, she finds out the FBI raids her house, her mom's dealing with the mom's legal cases and they're trying to pay for stuff. And, she's super lonely after the news breaks. No one wants to come to her house. Her sister is mad. Everyone's mad at them. MSNBC, Fox News, CNN, all mad at them. They're all reporting on this issue here. Also, I think CNN might have paid for this book to be written because they are... they are mentioned a lot of times. Okay, I think like CNN is mentioned like 30 times in this book. MSNBC maybe like 20. Fox News 2. Okay, so I don't know who's paying for this book, but anyway, in admissions the novel, she's like at the lowest point of her life, and Shola comes over. And she basically gives her a lecture and says that they're not friends because, oh, well, you didn't care about the plight of black people or something. And, oh, well, you used your parents' resources for gain. Like, what? She's mad at her that she paid for tutoring. And she was mad at her that she paid for all these things that were legal to do. That are legal to do. That she got extra help because she could afford it. And, that was technically taking away opportunities from people like her. What you expect her to just give you money out of the kindness and goodness of her heart? Like, what is this, a charity? This is ridiculous. Like, what kind of friend are you if you're mad that your friend has more money than you so they can pay for more opportunities than you can? Like, I don't know, ask her for help, okay? Road to 300, 500 subs, please. Yes. Like, I don't know why Shola is so mad at it. And he's just like, oh, well, you knew that you didn't have ADHD. But, I mean, the doctor, which her parents paid, but she didn't pay her, diagnosed her with ADHD. So how was she supposed to know that she didn't have it? Okay? Shola just turns out to be a horrible, flaky friend, and everyone just turns out to be mad at her because, the kid in the book has privilege. And I guess privilege is bad. That's what this book is. 300 pages of this privilege bad, okay? I wasted my hard-earned time reading this book so that two people can watch me review this. Waste of time. But we did learn something interesting. Houston Public Library, pro tech tip here. If you go there, there's this great newspaper search engine, which is amazing. You can actually search the newspaper, and I was able to find up and dig up great information. I'll write an entire article about that. Also, they offer the New York Times and the Wall Street Journal on here. So, whenever podcasts say, according to the Wall Street Journal, you guys can go read that for free if you have a library card in the city.